Well, first and foremost, I don't like empty tables up at the front. It makes me sad. It makes my recording sad. You're going to move the tables back. I like creative solutions from entrepreneurs. Come on, nobody wants to come sit up here by me? I'm friendly. You get extra coffee? I don't know. Oh, back row was moving to the front. Y'all can stay put. Yeah, back row's coming to the front. You got to embrace change, friends. Excellent. Thank you. You guys now get bagels and coffee. You might have gotten that already, but it's the best I can do. So anyhow, welcome to Lift the Rock this morning. How many of you guys have been here before? Woo! Okay, well that's what we like. So for those of you that are new, the whole purpose of Lift the Rock is to connect the startup community with the existing business community, and we're going to have a specific ask for you about that here in a few minutes. So as we get started, I want to give a special thank you to the Little Rock Regional Chamber of Commerce for all that they do to support local entrepreneurs as well as the Venture Center, and to our fantastic friends at Janie King. Janie King somehow manages to keep our place clean despite the fact that working with this many entrepreneurs is not unlike living in a frat house. So we appreciate all of their help. This week, or every week, our gigabit internet is provided by our friends at Hyperleap. They provide the fastest internet in the state, and anytime you're here in our space, you can hop on that internet. The network is Venture Center Guest, and the password is Real Ventures. Just know that when you get on that network, it's kind of like getting on Wi-Fi at a hotel. There's a little splash page that comes up, and you have to say, yes, I understand what I'm doing, and I'm super excited about it. Big news. You guys know what's happening next week, right? Yes? Okay, this is our final Wednesday because next week, Lift the Rock moves to Tuesdays. So same time, same place, different day. Okay, so every Tuesday, 9 a.m., right here, we'll have Lift the Rock. So I have a quick question for you. What do you think the one thing is that entrepreneurs need in order to grow and scale their business? Some of you know the answer already because you've been here before. Well, okay, fine. It's connections, people. That's what startups need to be successful. And so to that end, we're going to ask that you specifically introduce today's startup to these kinds of people. She needs to meet distributors, investors, marketing experts, and other beverage companies. You can follow us online at the Venture Center. Also on Facebook, that's where Aretha's Beverages is located. So you can find her at Aretha's Beverages, and we'll learn a little bit more about that awesome company here in a minute. The hashtag you want to always use is going to be Lift the Rock. Now, this is a special week, in fact. The Chamber has an awesome program run by our friend Chauncey Holloman called Minority Enterprise Development Week. And I'm going to let Chauncey tell you just a little bit about that. I'm a bad host and forgot to grab you a mic, so we're going to steal this one. There you go.
Morning, everyone. So I'll be really quick about it, but Minority Enterprise Development Week is facilitated by the Little Rock Regional Chamber of Commerce in conjunction with the Design Group and Urban League of Arkansas. So it's a really exciting week, and it's our 34th annual Med Week, but nationally, Med Week is many years older than that. And so what the Chamber does is we come together for this great week of programming, and we introduce a lot of our small and medium and large minority firms to just the majority community. We bring everyone together, and we offer developmental events, celebratory events, and educational events. So today is our first kickoff event, and we are, of course, attaching to Lift the Rock, which is a wonderful event, and we're kind of doing a special edition Med Week Lift the Rock. At 11:30 to 1, back at the Chamber, we'll do a lunch and learn with Myron Jackson from the Design Group, which is a multicultural marketing firm. And the topic is multiculturalism in marketing. So it's free. It's going to be great. It's going to be really good information for those of you that are looking for just a little bit more marketing and maybe even how to reach that minority or majority community. So come out 11:30 to 1 at the Chamber. I don't know whose fault this is. That's me. Oh. And after that, we have a 1:30 to 3 event with AARP, which is Finding Your Financial Freedom. And then we kind of culminate today in a reception also at the Chamber from 5 to 7. So it's 3 events, bam, 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 hit you real hard with them. But they're also on the Chamber website. So we look forward to seeing any of you guys come out, enjoy the events. They should be great. And Friday we have our awards luncheon at Philander Smith College, where we highlight some of our top minority firms that are members of the Chamber of Commerce. So again, I'm Chauncey Holloman with BP Endeavors in Medweek. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me afterwards. I have a couple of mailers that just has a calendar of events, so you don't have to commit all that to memory, and I'll give you some handouts about it. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to Jessica.
Trying to run away because I'm not sure who's causing the screech, if it's me or... Can you flip that one off, Chauncey? Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, can you come up, can you come up here? Yes, I think it's you. I think it's the gong is causing us a problem or something. Anyways, okay. So, lots of noise, yay! Okay, so we're about to welcome up the hand-picked entrepreneur that Chauncey picked out. She is fantastic, and I can't wait for you to meet the founder of Aretha's Beverages. So without further ado, we're going to welcome her to the stage, but I want you to stand up, give her a little love and excitement, and bring up the energy.
Okay, thank you again for the invite. And thank you for receiving me. All right, so I'm here today to talk about Aretha's Beverages. Aretha's Beverages is a beverage company that was founded by me, and it's kind of spearheaded and coordinated with other family. I have my sister over here, Janae Langford, and a dear friend, Monica Wyatt. They are very essential to getting this company off the ground. Okay, so I'm a little nervous. Don't be nervous. Okay, all right. So we're a beverage company. We're a ready-to-drink beverage company. We create things that were created by my late grandmother, Aretha P. Jones. I'm going to show you a little video to just kind of give you a brief history. Okay, that was the courtesy of the P. Allen Smith crew, who P. Allen Smith is he's big on Arkansas grown. And so thank you and kudos to them for creating that. We have 3 beverages. that will be on the market real soon. Those 3 beverages are the original sweet mint tea, strawberry lemonade with basil, and a spice jar punch. Okay. So we have those 3 beverages right now, and there are a couple of others in the works as well at this time. I'm using this paper. Okay, it's my little crutch. Okay. So, the dream came alive when I was going through the internet looking for ways to create the beverage and doing some research. I saw that the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville had a center called the AFIC, Arkansas Food Innovative Center, where food inventors, entrepreneurs can go up there and create their product with possibly selling to retail. So I called up there one day back in November. They said, hey, this is what we do. Come on up here. We went up there on a Wednesday in November, the 3rd Wednesday in November. They greeted us kindly and graciously. We shared what we were doing. They said, hey, this is a plan to make it happen. We became students of the AFIC in Fayetteville, and they have embraced us ever since. So, that's in Fayetteville. And as a result of working with the AFIC, we started getting a lot of interest. Like I said earlier, we began this journey last year in 2015 with the idea of, I have a catering background, and doing recipes that my grandmother did. And when she died when she was a caterer, she died. She was a famous caterer here in the state of Arkansas. She died in 2003. Then in 2004, my sister and I, we just said, you know what, let's continue on with her catering. And as a result of her catering, people love the food, but they really love the beverages. So in 2015, the spring, we decided to go to the farmers market. I know we've already said it in the video, but just to reiterate the power of what happened, how it started to kind of build. I mean, we literally missed one day after being there consistently for 3 Saturdays in a row, and the calls from the farmers market manager were just enormous. He said, you got to come back. And so we did come back, and it just started growing. So here we are. The feedback that we have been getting has been enormous. We've got an interest from all over. Just recently, we had an article done about the beverage company in the Arkansas Democrat, and it mentioned that we were going to be in a few stores here in the city. And it kind of failed to say when that was going to come out, and as a result, that was on a Tuesday when this came out. 3 of the stores called me or emailed me to say, hey, the Green Corner store had close to 100 people asking about, either coming by or asking about the product. K-Hall Produce had the same issue. Capers had an issue or two with people calling, and it was like, wow, this is great. But the article did fail to share when it was coming out. But that's okay. So we know the interest is there, and it makes the store owners excited to have it, to receive it when it does. So here's a question. What's the problem Reese's Beverages is solving, and why is solving it important? Consumers are faced with a dilemma of choosing from a variety of products that have lack of flavor and or are packed with sugar and very little substance. We believe consumers deserve products made with only the best natural ingredients when spending their hard-earned money. And that is so true. How many times are we disappointed when we go to a cooler in the convenience store, we open up some tea, I'm not going to say any brands, and we're disappointed. But yet it's just kind of, it's helping us out because we're thirsty and it's hot, or we're just thirsty. And it lets us down. I kid you not. Aretha's Beverages won't let you down. If anything, it's going to make you want to keep coming back and, hey, I need more. Can I get a bigger size is what you're going to be asking. And before you leave today, we do have some samples of our beverages, so please go over there and take a little sip, okay? Are you going to pass them out now? All right, how cute. All right. So what solutions are we providing, and how are we unique? We provide a quality gourmet experience at an affordable price in every bottle we make. These are handcrafted beverages, And it's just exciting to know that when you're stirring, when you're squeezing and punching and pouring, that you're trying to satisfy a taste. I'm not sure what you all are drinking right now. What are you drinking right now? The basil lemonade? Both? Okay. Tea and basil lemonade? Okay. So, all right. So, like I mentioned earlier, there have been numerous opportunities that have come our way. We have been approached with, this is why I kind of like this, I think. We have been approached by distribution companies. It's really exciting from not just in Arkansas, but in the country. I've gotten phone calls saying, hey, I read about this. I'm in New York. I would like to bring the South up north. It's kind of exciting, but I really do want to stay home. I want to create a foundation here in the state of Arkansas, if possible. And it is possible, because we really do have some really good people. And I say that because I stand with people in Bentonville, Arkansas, that are some of the top companies in the world who are with us. Just recently, as of last week, a major company in Bentonville said, hey, we're going to donate our graphic team to you to create your beverage labels. Do you know how awesome that is? To say that these people we've recruited from Coca-Cola and Tide, they're now working with us, and now they're going to be working with you. I was like, wow. So we do have a few stores in Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas that once it starts to come out, they're going to be located there. And we are working on, building other stores, but our focus is definitely here, Little Rock and Northwest right at this time. Just recently, other opportunities. Just recently, there was a National Lemonade Day. We were asked by Channel 11 to come and show some stuff about lemonade, share some things about lemonade, the history of it, and so we did a lemonade bar. I'm not sure if anybody was up at that time, like 5:30 in the morning, I think. But that was a neat experience, and it got the word out even further. We do have some challenges. Well, some of our challenges are, even this has been a fun ride, and the AFIC has been great, and we also are working with Startup Junkies. That's a company outside, in Fayetteville. They work closely with a company in Bentonville, and they have been kind of guiding us on some things. But the two things that we're having an issue with and still keeping the flavor tight and right is the ingredients. It's just making sure that everybody enjoys that home flavor without losing it. So we're trying to figure out how to make it, in bigger masses and bigger amounts without losing some things, and securing ingredients because we do use fresh products. And we have a mint tea. So to get mint, that's a California thing. And the same thing with our bagel. It's a California thing. So we're dependent on Mother Nature for those things. And the cost, we aren't big right now. Give us a year, and you'll be going to your Easy Mart and picking it up. I promise you. I'm going to believe that. And I want you to as well, okay? We can believe together. So that every bottle tastes the same, just like my grandmother created it. Like I said, we have two focal points at this time that we're focusing on, and that's the Central Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas area. So there's more to come on that. Okay, so we do have a firm verbal commitments here in the city of Little Rock, and this is just something short and sweet for their orders. This is what they're asking for each order, and with the popularity and the little small campaign that we plan to create with this launching, hopefully by mid-October, it will be in the 3 stores here in the city of Little Rock, and then followed by the Northwest Arkansas commitments. This is just a couple of photos of places that we've been sharing the beverages. We always do pop-ups. We always get invited to, festivals and conferences, so we've been sharing our beverages like that. We've been able to go to Little Rock Marathon, the ribbon cutting that brought on people, Taste of the Rock. I think many of you may have been there as well to taste it. And people are just saying good things. People are excited. I love when I hear people say, it has given me life. And you know how when you find $5 in your pocket, when it's just exciting. It's just like, and I can only imagine what that $5 feeling when the brain goes off. It's the same thing that when you drink the beverages. It's just something, it just goes off. Something goes off in your head. And so it's exciting to give people life from something that my grandmother took from the earth. They didn't have much. She was from Atkins, Arkansas. They didn't have much. She had to cook for 12 of her sisters and brothers while they worked the farm. Her dad said, you know what, you have to figure out what you're going to do with your life at 12 years old. You're going to work in the farm or you're going to work in the kitchen. She said, I'm going to work in the kitchen. So in order to create something that her family would love to come back home to after a hard day's work in the field, she started thinking and creating. She shared these stories how she would take something as ginger or something simple and make something great. And so we are still carrying on that legacy through her beverages. All right. We have any questions, concerns, thoughts?
Right. So if you have a question, make your way up to the mic there. And could you flip it on? There you go.
Good morning. Ivan Hudson with the Ivan Hudson Agency. Thanks for the inspiration that you provided this morning. A couple questions. One, since you do have a relationship with folks in Northwest Arkansas, have you all considered making any beverages that are reflective of the Latino community and their preference and their taste, or any other cultural preferences globally?
The mint tea has been found in several Mexican restaurants throughout the region. So I've been happy to hear that, hey, I remember this when I was in Texas, or I've had this at the Little Rock Marathon. Someone shared with us that that same flavor or that same familiar flavor was created at a few restaurants before. So I think we're on the path of, of that.
Secondly, since this was inspired by your grandmother, have you already done any succession planning to make sure this stays in the family for the next generation? Or
yes, okay. Yes, we have. We've done some things to keep it right there, locked in.
I'm sure we have some other questions.
So you mentioned cost was a concern, something you're working on. Without going into any trade secrets or financial details, what can you tell us more about your cost problems and what can we do to help you?
Bottling. Bottling is one of the most expensive, and like I said, and I think we all kind of clapped about, the labeling thing has been taken off of me. So we're going to be in connection with someone who is creating it and is going to make the labels for us, at least for a little while. But the actual bottles are what is costly, and the actual ingredients, the fresh mint. I am working with a company here in North Little Rock, a wholesale company, Benny Keith, who is feverishly working to try to help cut those costs down, and they have. So they're still trying to help me cut it down some more, so when we do go into mass, bigger productions, then we're on top,
Hi, I'm Joe Calhoun. I've got a related question. I saw your video. It's excellent. It's a VAT processing. What's your manufacturing capacity now? Are you going to be prepared to supply for another major market like Northwest Arkansas? Are you going to just try to VAT it to death, or do you have any plans in place to mechanize it at all, or what?
Yes, in the background, working in the background. We have people who are looking at co-packers for the products and still keeping it a handcraft product. So that is being researched. And right now, our capacity, our Fayetteville capacity, we have a 120-gallon barrel that we can do it, and so 120-gallon barrel, it gives us we can make about 4 in an 8-hour period. 4 batches of the 120-gallon, and we do create those beverages in 16-ounce containers. So do the math on that one.
Just kind of a suggestion, you guys should maybe look in, have you reached out to St. Jude's Packaging?
No.
It's on 36th Street, maybe? And when we were looking at packaging for some products we had a couple years ago, we went through St. Jude's and found them to be pretty cost effective. And they
Okay,
do
St.
labeling, packaging, and I believe also bottling. So just a suggestion. And I love you guys. I just tweeted that strawberry lemonade is everything. So
Oh, wow.
I didn't say
Thank
gives
you.
me life, but it's everything.
All right, then. Close to everything, close to life.
Anybody else? No other questions? So, I have one.
Okay.
I want to know what we can do for you, right? Like, as a group, what's the one thing that you need us to do to help things grow?
This is new to me.
Uh-huh.
It was easy to create it for a couple of hundred people. And to see how it has developed, grown, it's a good feeling, but a nervous feeling. Continue to share information, like you just said, the St. Jude location, the packaging company. You've heard a bit of the story, and I've kind of shared about a few of our battles. It's just keeping information coming in. And this is new for the Food Innovative Center as well as for Startup Junkie, one of our consulting firms, to have a beverage company. They've packaged cookies, they've packaged loose tea, they've packaged salsa and ketchup and all kind of sauces. But a beverage is something that is new territory for people in Arkansas. So anything that you have that can share. We are working with a chemist to give it more of a longer shelf life, because right now it's refrigerated. It has to be shipped, refrigerated, and that's a little costly. Of course, if we can get it a shelf life, a better shelf life, longer shelf life, to be non-refrigerated, that will extend some things and that would keep some costs down as far as distribution is concerned. So right now, well, you have to wait. You have to go on our Facebook page, and right now we are licensed. We are good to go. We created in a licensed kitchen here in the city of Little Rock, so we can't go to Fayetteville. We make it in a licensed kitchen here, and we can sell directly to the consumer. We are maybe even thinking about opening up the licensed kitchen to the public. They can come by and purchase it. Not to take away our stores that we are working with. It's just for the meantime while we're finalizing everything. So just watch us on Facebook. Keep the eyes and ears open for when you can purchase. And we'll do some farmers markets here, before they end in October, I believe. So just keep watching.
Anybody else?
Two thoughts.
Okay.
Do we need to use the mic from here or no?
You gotta use the mic.
Okay.
It's for the camera, not for me.
All right. Two thoughts.
Yes.
One is, have you considered, my first thought is cost. What's the retail price?
The retail price is
Yes.
$3 a bottle.
Okay. And the other is just a thought. I used to live in New York State years ago, and they had a bottle bill there. And what that did was when you bought a soft drink or something like that, you paid a 5-cent deposit. And what that did was limited litter on the side of the highway. Might that be a marketing strategy or ploy, or I'm not sure how that would work with costs and things like that, but if you had a deposit on your bottle and made it hey, this is something green, or...
Yeah. Since we are moving to more of an eco-friendly environment now, we're being more aware of our environment. That is something to think about. So I've taken note. I don't know, Monica has, and we'll research that. Okay? Hi.
Like direct recycling
Yeah.
You're renting the bottle to the person who's drinking the beverage.
That's how it used to be back in the day, right? I mean, I remember my grandparents doing that.
Yeah, it's very big in Germany with beer. There, you get bottles, you take them back, and then they just wash the bottles out, label them, and put beer in again, and something like that.
I'll look into that. I'm gonna make note of that. There are places here that do that.
So for my friends that are watching from home, I just have to remind everyone they can't hear you if you aren't talking into the mic. So let's move on to the question. We can continue the bottle chat afterwards.
Okay, I like that. Hi.
Hey, Jacinta.
Hello, how are you?
Love your beverages.
Oh,
I
thank
have an
you.
invitation and a request. I'm with the Little Rock Food Truck Stop, which you know is also a family-run business, and we celebrate food trucks and food, and we would love to have a beverage truck there. So any chance you all might consider that, where people can come and get their food and then come to your truck and enjoy that in the future?
Yeah, since you put it out there as an avenue, that would be considered a direct sale. So by the health department, we would be right on top, until it's ready for retail. That's wonderful. Thank you for that invite.
Yeah, and one more question. Sorry I wasn't here earlier. You may have spoken about this already.
That's okay.
But can you talk a little bit, we're a family-run business that's growing, and you all have been a family-run business for years since your grandmother. What do you think are the biggest pros and cons with working with families? What suggestions would you have for us as a family-run business?
When you have a meeting, never have it in a comfortable environment of someone's home. Take it outside. Find a place like this that offers, meeting space or wherever, your library, just, even community bakery. That's been one of our hot spots. Never meet in the comfortable space because you have to understand because they're family. If someone has to get socks for their little girl because they're on program somewhere, then you have to understand that, okay, well, she does have to perform. So, just take it outside. Take it out and set some measures. Set some measures of whose job is what, and hold them up to it. Make them be accountable for what their responsibilities are. Because there's somebody else. I never threaten this, but there's somebody else who will do it for you. If you can't, someone else will. But never dangle that in their face, right? You're welcome.
To bring in questions. So,
in 5 years, where do you see your company, socially and economically?
Socially? Okay, I'm going to see something like email, Facebook and all that. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. I just got on Facebook this year. I'm not technology savvy, but I am learning. My niece, my 15-year-old niece, she is our our assistant social media specialist, if that tells you anything. But she's doing a really good job. I do have family that is into the whole social media thing, and I wish he was here because he could just go crazy with letting me know and sharing with you what the different levels that he sees it going. I mean, right now he's really into trying to get the word out through Facebook. He's always pumping Facebook as an outlet of sharing information. And as we grow, I'm sure we're just going to be all over the face. Twitter and Instagram. I think we have an Instagram account, right? We have an Instagram account. Twitter, and we have Facebook. And I'm going to grow with it. I'm learning. So I know young people, that's what you do. And in order to reach you, that's where we have to go. So I'm learning, okay? So give me a few months, and I might have some things I'm going to sleep. What's your name? Chitterbug? Chitter, say it again. Chittermug. Okay. Okay. Beautiful face, beautiful name. Yes.
You might have already answered this question, but I just wanted to know, what makes your drink stand out? Or
because they're handcrafted. These two hands are what picks out the lemons. These two hands and other hands picks out the lemons This nose smells the basil. This nose smells the mint. These hands, these eyes. Because I have a person like you in mind, a consumer like you that is going to have a hard day and they just want something to drink and they just want to relax and just have a moment. You know, it's always exciting. What's your favorite drink right now?
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. You ever? I see you hear me say right now. Have you? Okay. We're going to change that, okay? But you know that moment when you think about, oh, I'm thirsty, and water won't do, but that Mountain Dew is the only thing that's going to fix that. You know, if someone has a Coca-Cola, I'm sorry, Coca-Cola fans, but, you know, if you're drinking the Coca-Cola, you're still thinking about that Mountain Dew because that's what your mind wants. That's what your heart wants. That's what you want to do in that moment when you relax. So our beverages are different because we are giving you that moment, that on-the-porch moment. You might be too young. You might not. Are you from Little Rock? You've been here all your life? Bryant. You have family in the country?
Yes, ma'am.
You do? So you go there often?
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all sit on the porch when you go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these beverages are going to give you that porch moment. You know how that exciting moment that when you can't wait to go back to the country and have with your family and friends, we're giving you that in the bottle. That's what makes us different. All right.
Okay, so now I have one more question.
Okay. All right.
Since it's your eyes and your nose and your hands, how do you scale? How do you scale? How do you get bigger? How do you take over the beverage world if it's all you?
Yes, you know, we are training beverage makers. You know, our beverage makers are trained to, you know, understand that same concept, you know, what it should smell like. We have taken things back to the wholesale because it just wasn't a great product. So we are working on some things because I know I can't touch every mint leaf. I know I can't touch every basil. I can't squeeze every lemon. We can't do it, no matter how big of a team that you have, if you want to grow and be and give a demand. If a store is out the product, you can't wait and say, you can't tell them to wait and, hey, we got to squeeze some more lemons first. Yeah. We understand that, and that is a hurdle that we are trying to get over. How do you still create that, give them that handcraft feeling and techniques, but still make it on a bigger scale? There are some things, believe me, there are some things, and we've been testing some things in the Fayetteville location, and it's working. It's working. I understand that we have to adjust some things. It's kind of sad. Kind of like when your kid grows up, you know, I don't have any children, but I just experience other people's children. You see the kids, you see them when they're small, they grow, and you're right there when they fall, and they have a question, their first date. You know, you're there. You're giving them what they need to be a part to make life great. And then when they go and you take them to college, you drop them off. And this is like a baby, but you have to let it go. So I have to let some things go, and I have to accept some things in order to make this grow.
Awesome. Okay, you guys. Well, I think that was pretty great. Did you think that was pretty great? Thank you. Oh, wait, I need that. You're walking away with my clicker.
Oh,
I need this guy.
Okay.
Oops, no worries. Okay, so you see this? It's been behind her for a little bit here. She's looking for these kinds of connections. Distributors, investors, other people who have beverage companies, just so they can just sort of share some knowledge. Also, marketing people, and then specifically buyers or store managers in retail establishments that can help her get her product onto the shelves. So that's, you know, the dream world. Of course, everybody wants to go into Walmart, right? But let's maybe also think about Kroger or Harps or any of the local small grocery stores, any establishment that you could make a connection to where that person has the ability to help put the product on the shelf, help put her in touch with other beverage makers. Maybe you know a marketing expert. So you're going to pull out that card that's in front of you, looks just like the one on the screen, and you're going to be sure that you put your name and your email address at the bottom. Now, we never ask you for somebody's contact information, but we do ask you for a commitment to make that connection. My staff will follow up with you and say, hey, John, you said you were going to introduce our friends at Aretha's Beverages to your friend Bill, who owns whatever company. And so that's all we do. We just make a reminder, because we're finding that the biggest thing that helps these companies grow are really good, warm leads and connections to other people. Since we started doing this program, we've helped people really garner a lot of additional business and scale more than they expected to, specifically because of one-on-one introductions that were made by our friends like you. So please think about that for just a second and start going on that. Next week, we're going to be here on Tuesday, right? I know I've said that 85 times, but it's Tuesday starting next week, September 13th. Next week, we're going to have our friend from Wrapped Up, who is a Pre-Accelerator alum. If any of you still want information about the Venture Center's Pre-Accelerator program, it is starting next week, and you can grab me or any of our staff members before you head out today, because tomorrow is the application deadline. So next week, we'll feature Wrapped Up and also Little Rock Tech Fest. They have a fantastic code and technical conference that happens in October, and it has grown from just an idea on a napkin to a really big conference. So if you're at all technically inclined, I highly recommend that you are here next Tuesday to listen and check them out. So one last thing, I don't have a slide for this, but our friends at the Delta Regional Authority have their Delta Entrepreneurship Pitch Competition next week. It's an opportunity for your startup idea to win some money and also get a trip to New Orleans. I love New Orleans, so I mean, if they would take me, I would totally go. All that information can be found on our social media or at dra.org. .gov. DRA.gov, because they are the government, so it is .gov. Okay, so if you want more information about the DEN Challenge, feel free to, again, stop us. We're happy to talk to you about it. Otherwise, we will see you next week for Wrapped Up in Little Rock Tech Fest. And one more round of applause for our friends at Aretha's.